You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. You don't. You're watching this because you're tired. You're tired of having to prove yourself to people who don't really care. You're trying to prove yourself to them because they have an idea of who you are in their mind. Whenever you're not playing the persona of the person that they think you are, they're making you feel like something is wrong with you, like it is your fault. Why are you changing? Why aren't you the person in my mind that I have imagined? I shared this before here on the channel. I once had this conversation with my mom. And at that point, I haven't lived with her for, I want to say, around 7 to 8 years. And she said to my partner that she knows me better than I know myself. And I had to laugh because just because she has known me when I was younger and I was living with her, which I agree, like mothers know children very well, but I have grown into a new person over all of this time that I haven't spent time with her. She was making assumptions about me and what I was thinking and who I was and decisions that I was making and all of those things that weren't true at all, but it was based on an idea she had about me in her mind. And I don't blame her because this is what we do. We do this with people. And people do this with us because we have met people at a certain time, we have gotten to know people at a certain time, and then we form an idea of who we think they are. And when they don't fit into that idea of who we think they are or vice versa, we feel like something is off. And so when we are trying to be someone we are not so that we are liked and accepted, we're losing ourselves in it. And so when my mom said that to me, I was like, maybe she's right. And I was like, she hasn't even seen me for more than a couple of days a year sometimes because I was away. And I've experienced life in a complete new way. And so her saying that wasn't at all right. But it also, why we do that as human beings and why other humans do that is because we are seeking safety. We like the familiar. We like to know what we know. And when something doesn't fit into the idea of what we know, it feels scary, it feels new, it feels even dangerous. It's something that like creates discrepancy between what we think is and what actually is. Why so many of us, I think, are not living the lives that we're meant to is because we're trying not to outgrow the ideas of what other people think of us. And so if you find yourself in a moment in life where you might feel stuck or confused or lost, you have to ask yourself, am I my truest, my realest, my most authentic version of myself? Or am I playing a role so that I'm loved and accepted and not rejected by other people? Because even when we think about people pleasing is something that we have learned as children. When we put other people's needs above our own, we learn that this way we will receive love and acceptance and they're not going to reject us. And so we learned that early on that when we do that, that means we will receive love in return. And so today, it's like you almost don't have a choice to not people please because deep down, your belief is that when you do that, they will not reject you. They will love you. They will accept you. Human beings, we like to be loved. We like to be accepted. No one likes to feel rejected. And so our survival mechanism in that sense is doing something that is against our own value, like, for example, saying yes instead of saying no, or putting other people's needs above our own, while we actually also feel like we're depleting ourselves by doing so. But it's something that we've learned, something that so many of us have learned. And so it's also asking yourself, are you willing to look at that? And are you willing to change that? Because once you do, you break out of a pattern that so many of us human beings are in. Even when we think of like changing your mind, like let's say you've said something to your partner about the job that you want to apply to, and you're so excited about this job, and then you have some time to think about it, and you think about this job, and then after like maybe a week, you're like, actually, this is not what I want to do. Actually, I want to do something completely else. How often are we scared to then say that we've changed our minds to other people? Because what will they think? Like, we have literally just made a complete new decision, and we have sold them the first decision, and now we're changing our mind. Like, you know, but who cares? Because it's your life. If they are not okay with you changing that, it's on them. Of course, there is an aspect that if someone truly like cares about you and worries about you, and they do have something good to say about you, maybe making a million decisions and never sticking with one, that's a complete other thing. But if you know that by you making those decisions and you doing those things and being the realest and the most authentic version of yourself, it's gonna happen that there are people that are not going to like you. There are people that will not approve, maybe even people from your life who are going to be like, she changed, and that's okay, because we're meant to change. We're meant to start doing things differently. So when you start to become someone new, or someone that you're always meant to be, I don't even want to say someone new, but someone who you've always meant to be, because this is just who you are authentically, but you never allowed yourself to show that to the world, there's going to be people who will not recognize you, and that's a good thing. And the people who will not try to understand why you changed, they need to do the work themselves. Because people who are on their own journey of growth and transformation, they will understand. But people who are stuck in that belief paradigm, they will not see that in you. So the message of this, above all, is follow your heart, connect with your authentic self, be okay with people not liking you. And actually, there's one more thing I want to say here. When you stop to people please, and you're people pleasing because you're scared other people are going to reject you, oftentimes we go to people for a sense of safety within ourselves, right? So we feel safe when other people love us. We feel safe when other people accept us. That's where you got to bring it back to yourself. Can you create that sense of safety within you? Can you love yourself first? Because when you feel safe within yourself, that's when you can be your truest and realist expression of who you truly are. Otherwise, you will try to seek safety through not being that, through actually rejecting yourself. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please let me know. Sending you so much love. And until the next time, bye-bye.